Yes.
So we're starting in chapter 5, equip number 9, which I believe is on page 40 in your Little Atheist book. So question 9 says this. What are the two opposing views about the origin of the universe, and what is the real truth behind the debate between the two positions that experts and media get wrong? So let's start with the first question. What are the two? What are the names of the two opposing sides? Yes.
I said science and religion.
Yes, but there's something more specific than that, Jared.
Darwinism and creation.
Yes, but there's something even more. Yes.
Intelligent design and naturalism.
Okay, so let's go with intelligent design, meaning somebody created it, and Darwinism or atheism. Darwinism / atheism. Now, the second part of that is more difficult, yes.
Isn't it good science versus bad science?
That can be too. It is good science versus bad science, but that isn't what everybody would call it, right? That's what Christians would say.
They would probably be a little
But
offended.
they would say that it's a the two sides are intelligent design and atheism / Darwinism / naturalism. Anyone would say that, whether they're a Christian or an atheist. Okay, so then the second part of this says, wait a minute. And what is the real truth behind the debate between the two positions that experts and the media get wrong?
One uses science, the other does not.
That's true.
Darwinists? I don't know. Their conclusions are preliminary and their assumptions. They rule out intelligent causes before they look at
Well, you need to listen. Secondly, nobody's going to hear that. They're going to hear what you just said. Okay, say it again and say it loud.
I said Darwinists, their conclusions are preloaded into their assumptions, and they rule out intelligent causes before they look at them.
Exactly, yeah. They won't even consider an intelligent answer, an intelligent creator.
I mean, could you say the same thing for us?
No, and the book talks about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think it depends, because there are definitely some Christians who are like, no matter what any scientist says, I believe in what the Bible says, and they're not even going to think about the science. Like, some Christians don't believe that the Big Bang happened because they don't associate the Big Bang as when God started the universe.
Right.
Because all they hear is Big
Right.
Bang and they assume it's
And they
atheism.
go to that. Yeah. So they don't rule out scientific causes. They'll say, I mean, God created science, right? And so they don't. The believers don't rule out scientific causes. Now,
Or shouldn't.
there's also then the problem of proof, right? And so those who hold to intelligent design have better proof for their reasoning than does Darwinism. So here's what I wrote, and I think this is a good thing to write down. It's billed as a battle between science and the Bible, or science and faith, or reason. So science and the Bible, or science and faith, science and reason. Or faith and reason is the two that it's billed as. But in truth, it's about good science versus bad science, or reasonable faith versus unreasonable? Because the evidence leads to a design. The evidence leads to a creator, which you've seen not only in the creation of the universe, but also the first life. There is nothing even close to proving the first life came about naturally. And trust me, they are trying really hard to get life to come out of non-life. But even if that were to happen, it would prove that it takes intelligence to create life. That it's never happened spontaneously, which is what it has to be in order for it to be true. It has to be spontaneous from non-living things, life from non-life. Yeah, they are their proof is lacking, and what the Bible says is more scientific than what they're saying. So, name the two types of causes and give examples of each. So, name some things that were intelligently designed. Yes.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. What's another one?
Rolex.
A Rolex.
Yes.
What's another one? Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Bugatti.
A Bugatti. Absolutely. Very, very well.
Specifically the Lego. Specifically the Lego Bugatti.
Okay.
God.
So, what about
BUGATT.
non-intelligent?
Wait.
Or not? No. What? Not. I'm sorry. I got that wrong. What about intelligent? Oh, I already said that. I already said that. What about non-intelligent?
Or natural.
Natural.
And desert dunes.
Yeah, desert dunes. Yeah,
Tree.
trees. What?
All the fishes.
Oh,
Fissures.
I heard
Okay, fissures. I
Fissures.
thought you said all the pictures. I'm like,
No, I can't talk and no
what
one knows.
pictures? I don't see the pictures.
No, I just think you said it
Okay,
weird.
yes.
Fishers, like the
Yeah, but
We don't. It's fissures.
Grand Canyon.
Not sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Mount Everest.
Like a Z.
And Mount Everest.
This is
It
Okay.
makes a Z sound. Not sh.
Although I think Mount Everest, parts of it would be, but it itself. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Well, nobody chiseled it out.
So,
that's
question 11. What is panspermia and why is it a far out theory? So first of all, what is it, John?
aliens deposited the first life here.
Yes. So
The aliens from Mexico.
the aliens, well, there was no Mexico,
Well,
so
the ones
They
that we
created
found.
Mexico. They found it.
You mean that we found?
Yeah.
No, they found it.
I'm telling
And then we took that.
Jonathan.
It's far out because it's spontaneous generation off by most of them.
Yeah,
It's like where did the aliens come
Right. right. Okay, so first of all, find the aliens, but also, where did they come from? Are they eternal?
Probably.
Because then wouldn't that just confirm intelligent design?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Just by saying
But
like
not if you refuse to allow.
no, I'm saying
intelligent
if they
design.
like if they're like, well, it wasn't intelligent design, it was the aliens. I'm like, well, that's the higher intelligence right there. You're just confirming intelligent design, but you're being a little more
It's
wacky
still-
than we are.
Is still intelligent. They're putting the aliens in the place of God.
That's just the not with God.
But they're fine with aliens. They're not fine
Yeah.
with God.
Okay, so personal loving God.
But that doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
So I by the way, with the whole aliens thing, I go with Larry Norman on that. You have no idea who Larry Norman is, but he's the reason why you can listen to Christian music on the radio. And in one of his songs called UFO, an unidentified flying object, he uses the identified flying object. But anyway, he says, and if there's life on other planets, then I know that he must know. And he's been there once already, and he's died to save their souls.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why would you do that?
Why would he do that? Because
Well,
he's
yeah,
Jesus.
why would you have another make another planet?
Well, I mean, there's lots of planets, but it's
Because-
life on other planets.
Why would
Because
you-
God needs eternal.
Is there gonna be
Praise.
another heaven for them then? Or
I don't know. I don't know. We don't know if they exist. So, okay. Next question.
actually
In summary fashion, what is the overall problem? In summary fashion, what is the overall problem that Claustos, Francis Crick, Fred Hoyle, Chandra, who knows, and Michael Denton have with explaining and proving the evolutionary theory of spontaneous generation?
I said because the probability of life arising from spontaneous generation is effectively zero, their preloaded assumptions are not based on evidence that intelligent creation is started.
Excellent answer. There's more to that. What's the supreme problem, Ellie?
On faith.
all it is that cool, but they don't explain the origin.
The first letter. You can't prove anything if you don't know how, and there's no way to know how the first life happened. If you take God out of the picture. And so where did that first life come from? And there are a whole lot of people trying to answer that question. None of them have. So the simplest life form is so complex. And the more we study it, the more we really realize that it's incredibly complex. And so their attempts to create life from non-life only lead to a deeper understanding of how impossible it is for life to come from non-life. Unless God did it. So they're only proving intelligence because they're trying to create life. And then why is more time, more chance, the more time, more chance argument
Yeah.
not a good one for Darwinists to use in support of their theory?
You skipped number 13.
Oh, I did? Okay, well, let's go back to that. Thank you. A Darwinist blind allegiance is to what kind of philosophical ideology and why? So what is it? It's called a priori commitment, a preordained commitment. John? I think there's something more accurate than that, yes.
Materialism.
Materialism. They have a commitment to naturalism, to materialism, that only the material exists. There is no supernatural. Because there can't be a God. So only the natural exists. And what that turns out to be is blind faith in spontaneous generation. And an act of the will that refuses to allow God. We don't know how it happened. We've never seen it happen. We don't know how to do it. But it has to be this. When even agnostic scientists are saying it looks like Genesis. Now, they don't believe that, but they say that's a good description. And as I've told you before, if you're trying to figure out what 2 plus 2 is, and somebody says, but it can't be 4, then you can't ever get the right answer. Okay, now, why is more time and more chance why is the more time and more chance argument not a good one for Darwinists to use in support of their theory? Yes,
Because nature,
there's several answers to this. Go ahead.
because nature disorders, and the more time that nature has to do what it normally does, the worse it's going to get instead of the better.
Remember when we talked about the scientific laws, in this case the second law, and how there's no way to overturn that. There's no exception to that. So nature disorders. It does not order, and that's what the second law of thermodynamics tells us, right? And so it makes order less likely, not more likely. Aaron.
And chance is a word used to describe mathematical possibilities, but it's not a cause. Like, chance itself has no power.
It describes something, but chance isn't a cause. The cause that comes up on your car accident is going to say, well, it just happened. You're going to say it just happened by chance. It's not a cause. What else? Have anything else? Yes.
Because just gives the philosophy longer for disorder, it doesn't mean that we're going to keep doing the same thing over again. It's just keep going.
Again, time is not.
Yeah.
A cause either. And then I wrote this down. The chance that life could come from non-living chemicals is virtually zero, as calculated by atheists and theists alike. So even atheist scientists realize that the chance of life coming from non-life, from chemicals, is virtually zero. But it's not absolute zero, so there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance. Exactly. 15. In the debate between Drs. Craig, and Atkins, what were some things Dr. Craig argued that cannot be scientifically?
I literally thought about this morning. I was like, I can't do a fire drill today. Do you want to pause it?
Oh, is he Okay, here we go. We're ready to go here. I'm gonna
ready to go.
I don't know if there's a class in this. Okay, so question 15. In the debate between Drs. Craig and Atkins, what were some things Dr. Craig argued that cannot be scientifically proven? So what's one of them? Yeah.
Beauty.
Beauty cannot be proven. Yes.
Math and logic.
Math and logic. What else?
Metaphysical.
Metaphysical truths. Jonathan. Ethical judgments. Jerry. Science itself cannot be proven by the scientific method.
Aesthetic judgment.
What?
Aesthetic judgment.
Aesthetic judgment. Yeah. So yeah, the scientific method itself cannot be proven scientifically, and yet they believe in that, and they believe in math and logic and metaphysical truths and ethical judgments and atheistic judgment or aesthetics, judgments.
Do they really believe in moral? Because I've heard different atheists. Like, I've heard some atheists, when you bring up the whole, like, morality question,
They're relative.
they're more or less like, well, we don't have to. And you're just like,
yes.
Yes, we should.
Yes, but do you remember toward the beginning of the year we talked about you find out what people believe not by their actions but by their reactions.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone just walks up to them and punches them in the face, they're going to say that's wrong.
Yeah.
So they do, they just don't want to admit it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But when push comes to shove,
So unless I'm right.
like literally, yeah.
They're going to fight back. Yeah.
Okay, number 16. List and explain the 3 points that demonstrate that science is built on philosophy.
Why did they give such
I don't know, and I am much older than when I wrote this, and I can't read what I wrote. So,
I got you.
okay, go ahead.
Alright, so the first box, I said, science can't be done without philosophy.
Yes,
and then my
that's-
reasons for that is philosophical assumptions are used in the search of causes and therefore can't be the cause of them.
So yeah, because science is based on philosophy, it can't be the result of science, right? Because the philosophy comes first. What's the second square? Yeah,
This philosophical assumptions impact.
Yeah.
And
yes, absolutely.
if scientists assume beforehand that only natural causes are possible, then no evidence will convince them of
There's no way to get to the right answer, right? If they make that assumption.
Oh my goodness.
Third block. Yes.
It's like the, it's just the scientists, like say science doesn't.
Science doesn't
Really
say
say-
anything.
Scientists do.
Scientists do, right? Yes. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
What else?
Since scientists interpret so it's basically
Yeah. The data is interpreted through a filter of atheism. Yes.
But also, but they've kind of, like, it's been seen before and shown before that, like, if they do a test and they want to prove something specifically, and out of 100 tries, the thing that they want to prove only happens once, then they're only going to refer back to the once versus the 99 times that it didn't happen. So they don't change the data, they just present it in a way that makes their theory look more attractive.
They skew the data.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they can.
They catfish
They
the
might.
data.
They might. Yes.
Yeah, and I've seen that like recently because they're like doing, they've been doing like a test of like, is DNA able to be like altered? And they're like, if there's less than 10%, then evolution is fake. And like as of a week ago, they're like 90% doesn't work. We'll get back to you on that 50%. So they're already like close to working on being, but they haven't released it. So it's like,
But does that, even if they get it done, does that say that Darwinism is true? No, because they're doing that by intelligent design. Okay, number 17. List 5 reasons why materialism is not reasonable. So what's one of them? Yes.
If materialism is true, then everyone else's spiritual experience is wrong.
Yes.
by the complexity can't be explained.
Okay, yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. So the message in life, the specified complexity or DNA cannot be explained by natural laws. There's no way to explain how that happened. What else? Yes?
Human thoughts and theories aren't compromised only in materials.
Right. So, where am I? I think, yeah. So I think this is the same thing you're saying, that chemical processes alone cannot explain human thoughts, theories, and they cannot be scientifically engaged or proven. Yes, Emily.
If all life was materials, then we should be able to make life happen.
There's only the material, and we should be able to make life out of our life, but we can't. I think that's all.
There's another one.
What's it?
Reason itself is impossible.
Oh, yeah. Reason requires faith. Okay, so let's do the engage. And we'll skip that first one, we'll go to the second one. Review the atheist versus the critical thinking consultant. Was that a fun story or what?
Yeah.
I love that. So how was Pete Buccino able to logically and objectively argue for theism while refuting Darwinian thought? Yes.
He showed that Darwinism thought uses theist thought processes, thus mounting positive evidence for theism.
Anybody want to add to that? Yes.
Like, to know what is not, like, when Darwinism say, like, what's not true, they have to know what is true.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to work if the answer to the question says, well, this is what it can't be. The teacher's not going to be okay with that. So here's what I wrote down for that. He was able to show how, in attempting to logically deny our personhood, our uniqueness, our design, etc., materialists are displaying the very characteristics they deny. So they're using those exact characteristics that they're saying.
The answer
This
to
one's I'm gonna what? What's in the blank? I've never put it.
I don't know what else to write for that. I just know that
I think it was saying like, what do you mean? So like whatever the atheist says, then you say, what do you mean by insert what the atheist
Make you
says?
think about more and talk about more.
Okay, good. We got it done. I'll
Alright.
see you on Monday.
You done with the video?
Wait, what?
She's not gonna be here tomorrow. Video.
Thank you.